Hello, and welcome to the TBI Podcast, Those Bored Individuals. What up, my crush? It's me, Fresh, and welcome to a brand new episode of Those Bored Individuals.
Yeah!
Oh.
Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year!
Now, that was a way to start off a decade. Because we can all forget about that dumpster fire of a year that was supposedly the start of a good decade.
Yeah.
Well, I feel a little deja vu because I feel like 2021 started with, oh, thank God 2020's over. So...
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's happened now. We've got a normal president in the White House. Vaccines are being delivered left and right. So yeah, things are looking up.
Yeah.
Don't jinx it.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course. We still need to be prepared for anything. We know Omicron's still running around, but I've been vaccinated, so I'm sorted.
I got my booster today.
Just today? Huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was the only thought available.
I see.
I'm hoping to get mine sooner this year, so hopefully I get mine soon. I have it first, but it'll be a while until I get it.
Well,
He's
so
sitting here with us still, don't worry.
So, how's everyone been since the last podcast?
Not bad.
Good.
Now, there's been quite a few film releases that happened last year, which we haven't talked about all that often, but now we have our chance because hopefully before the new films of 2022 start pouring in, we better talk about the ones from 2021 before things get a bit cluttered.
Oh, yes.
So, has everyone here seen Spider-Man No Way Home?
Oh, hell yes.
Now, everyone watching this, you should mute this or skip this if you don't want to hear about it. We really are about to dive into Spider-Man No Way Home. So, if you don't want any spoilers, please skip to 17:18. Well, I've said it once, but I'll say it again. Best Christmas present ever!
Yeah!
Oh my god. Wow, what a film.
Yes, I agree.
First we attack the fields, Osborn. First we attack the fields.
Yeesh. Yeah, Osborn, aka Green Goblin, is downright terrifying. He was terrifying in the original, but here, he's on a whole nother level. Especially now that you can see his face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scary.
Yeah. And not only that, but he killed Aunt May.
I know.
Jeez.
I knew the moment she said, with great power comes great responsibility. I'm like, oh, she did. She did.
Ugh.
I
Death
know.
flags all around.
I was just in shock.
You just see her touching Peter's shoulder and shaking, like you can tell she's not doing well. And it's like
It gave me instant Spider-Man PS4 vibes.
Oh.
Because spoilers for that game. Anyway, so yeah, it was definitely as exciting as we were describing. One thing that I do find a little bit annoying about it is that they came so close to having a Sinister Six, and yet they didn't have that one other person on board.
I know.
You can't just...
Rhino.
You can't just have 5 villains and not go to the obvious conclusion of a Sinister Six. That was just... God, why? The only other person who could have filled that spot was Venom. And he was only in it for, like, the post-credit scenes before he was teleported back home.
Yeah.
FYI, that post-credit scene makes me laugh when I think about it in the good sense, because it's like, we just got here, but then what's left afterwards is like, oh.
Yeah.
Eddie, we are drunk.
Yes.
I'm so glad I managed to watch the end credits from that.
So yeah.
I do like that Venom.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see Venom vs. Carnage, just to see how they integrate them into the MCU for the brief appearance that they had, but just to sort of round things off, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my god, there were so many legendary moments. We got 3 Spider-Men teaming up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Tobey Maguire reuniting with Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. When I saw Tobey Maguire, I literally almost cried from that.
Oh.
I've gone to see the film 3 times now, but with with different people who haven't, so I've had a reason to go. And each time I see it, I get emotional at Andrew Garfield's moments when he's sad, and it's like, oh my god, it just gets sadder when he's talking about Gwen and everything, and it's like, oh.
And he actually managed to redeem himself by saving MJ in this one.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Closure.
Yeah. So, what was everyone's favourite scene? For me, personally, one of my favourite scenes was when Otto was cured from the voices in his head from his tentacles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did enjoy that too.
Just, all that time, he was tormented by the AI of his tentacles in his head, and just to have that inhibitor chip upgraded to block them out entirely, so he's the only one in control, and just to see him tear up, it's like, oh, well done, Peter. Well done, Peter. You helped this guy.
It's so sad that we know their face though. It's so annoying. No.
Well, who knows? Maybe this might lead to alternate timelines where Otto actually joins Peter in his escapades, but, well, who knows?
Maybe.
Anyway, what were your favourite scenes?
On like a funny level, I really like the part where Dr. Octopus rips apart some of his Tom Holland Spider-Man's suit, and it's like, oh yes, upgrades, but then Peter just pulls the Bluetooth out and it's like, device connected, and suddenly he can control it, and it was just like, that's not supposed to happen. And it's even funnier if you think about it in like the generational sense, because the Andrew Garfield movie came out sort of before Bluetooth was a thing, so if you think about it in that sense, it's even funnier, because it's like, wait, how the is he doing that? Oh, sorry.
Starting off this year off with a bang.
sorry. Just replace it with, wait, how the heck is he doing that? How the heck is he doing that?
Or I could just throw in a duck quack just to...
Yeah, sorry. I got excited.
Yeah. Who can blame you? It was amazing.
It was hysterical.
Dudley?
But yeah,
Literally, a whole scene where Dr. Octopus shows up, and then it cuts out when Green Goblin turns up on the bridge. That whole escapade is flipping amazing. And anytime William Dafoe's on screen is amazing. Like, his acting on that is... Yeah. And the other thing is, the chemistry between all 3 actors of Spider-Man is just amazing. Like, give me more.
Friendship.
Yeah, so what about you, Michael?
I don't know. There's like so many good scenes, but honestly the scene I enjoyed was when, you know, we saw all the other Spider-Mans coming through the portals, and you know, it's just, I don't know. There's like so many scenes I can't remember that much, because it's, you know, all happened so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, the movie, of course, is going to go down in history as one of Marvel's greatest accomplishments. However, one thing I would nitpick about our experience. Not the movie itself, but Rowan, you'll probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But because social distancing and such, I had to book our tickets online, and we had to select seats far away from anyone else. So I was like, okay, this looks good, right in the middle, distanced from everyone else. Okay, great. But literally hours before our screening, I looked at the seat map to see if we needed to rearrange things, and unbelievably, the seat right next to us was going to be occupied by someone else.
Yep.
And we were like, okay, there's about 4 empty seats, and there's about 2 people in those seats. They can probably make space between me and themselves. So, and when it came to the screening, we thought, okay, and we see this large woman and her son, I guess, teenaged son, and we were like, oh boy, here we go. Maybe they're gonna do the sensible thing and not occupy the seat right next to me. But no, they instead choose to ignore social distancing rules and sit right next to me.
Oh,
Also,
no.
I'm pretty sure the woman was on her phone.
Yeah.
I know.
Honestly, I had that the same in my cinema. I was like looking to my right, like noticing someone on the phone with the screen.
In my mind, I wanted to take that woman's phone and hurl it at the screen and shout at her saying, you can look at it when it's over. But
yeah,
no.
Thankfully she wasn't calling anybody, but just the fact that she had the phone out, screen on, scrolling through Instagram or whatever, and I'm like, lady,
how
the
can
one rule of cinema.
I don't care that your friend of yours had a baby. Turn it off.
It's Spider-Man time.
How can this woman's baby possibly be more interesting than one of the greatest superhero films that you signed up to watch?
It's rule number 1 of cinema etiquette, and you broke it within the first 5 minutes.
Rowan, okay, and the worst part about this was, while we were waiting for the end credit scenes, you went off to the toilet, and as this woman was getting up, she once again, she was completely ignoring not only social distancing guidelines, but personal space. And because, now, I've got nothing against fat people. I try to be nice to everyone, but this woman was setting a bad example, because she gets up and she has her butt right up into my face. It's so close that I'm practically elbowing this person, and in my mind I was going, lady, what are you doing?
Oh, no.
This is so gross.
So glad I missed that.
Maybe I'm out of it at the moment, and I'm still social distancing. Is the social distancing aspect still a thing at the moment, or is it just wear masks for safety precautions?
Well, your own personal safety is up to you. At the end of the day, there's still a virus going around, so taking all these measures into account is necessary, yeah, but Jesus, lady, why? But aside from that, it was a great movie.
Oh,
Yeah, it was great.
I think I have to address 2 very minor things about the film which people could critique it on. Like, Spider-Man No Way Home has gone into my top 5 easily, out of the MCU. 2 things, minor things, but other people could explain it. So, first one is obviously Tom Hardy's Venom's in the post-credit scene, and he's ended up in the universe. I have no idea why he ended up in the universe, because the point was anybody who can come in knows Peter Parker as Spider-Man. That's never been established in Tom Hardy's Venom universe. But the only hint we had is the end of Venom versus Carnage. You hear Venom say something like, "Oh, we know we've had lots of knowledge as we've travelled through space to get to here," and so you can assume, oh, maybe that was included in there somewhere. And happen to know. I guess we'll find out later. Maybe this means we'll see a Spider-Man in the Venom universe or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Another thing is, if Dr. Octopus reforms, it's just going back to his film to die anyway, because technically he's the one who saved the day at the end of Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. He has to die.
Unless something different happened.
Well, let's try not to think too deeply into things. Let's just assume that he lives a happy life teaming up with his version of Peter.
Oh, I'd like to think that too. I'm just saying things that people have been saying.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be finding it on Blu-ray. That's going to be a permanent Blu-ray in my collection, so yeah.
I'm hoping to get on DVD when it comes out.
Yeah. You're listening to the TBI Podcast. I was still a little bit disappointed that we didn't see much of Venom in the MCU for his brief appearance, but, well, until then, I still want to talk about him pretty quickly.
Okay.
So, we know from the post-credit scenes that a portion of Venom's symbiote was left behind when he was teleported home, and it's gotten away and could find a host of its own in the MCU's future.
Yeah.
The thing is, because it's part of Tom Hardy's Venom, who wanted to go and see Tom Holland's Spider-Man before it left, technically it's seeking out Tom Holland at the moment, which is...
So, this is just a bit of a random question that I'd like to bring up. Regardless of what Venom's symbiote has been doing, would you allow a symbiote to bond with you?
I mean, I don't know.
It's the thing, right? I don't think it was ever said that if you bond with a symbiote, it's basically killing you. That was only in Tom Hardy's one, and it seems like they're doing okay now. It depends, really, because which universe is symbiote?
Because, I had this really weird dream a couple nights ago, where I was basically this random person going into a corner store, and you could buy like little symbiotes in like a petri dish, and you could see them like still moving. Like, why am I buying this?
I want to see this as a comic now. Already.
Because if I was to bond with a symbiote from the Marvel universe, I think we'd get along all right, because a symbiote kind of takes on the personality of its host. So, I think if I had a symbiote and we combined together, I think it would be called Nipper. Because, of course, I'm known for controlling ice and snow, so having a symbiote with sharp teeth and all...
Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Exactly.
Is this something we could see in the future?
Under very specific circumstances, who knows? I sort of imagined my symbiote, he would be like, because I tend to either be overconfident or extremely insecure, I think he would sort of do the...
Balance that out.
Or maybe even do the polar opposite in different situations. Like, what are you doing, man?
Without spoiling too much, at the end of Venom vs. Carnage, you get the sort of vibe that having a symbiote is like having a constant D/pet. Like, it feels like having a Patronus in Harry Potter, or having an animal like in the Golden Compass with you or something. It feels like you've got that permanent friend who's out for you because you're working together. So it sounds kind of cool in a way, like the way they play that.
What about you, Ren?
I think it would depend on the day. Like, if I'm having an alright day and I'm okay with life, probably not. But if I just had, like, a really bad day, like, I've had trouble at work or something in general, I'd just be like, okay, buddy, take the wheel, and just, like, let them take control.
So what would your symbiote be called if YouTube were a thing?
I don't know. It's probably something like berry related, like maybe holly, because like holly is really prickly and stuff.
I like it.
And also red berries, so kind of a similar idea for what I've got going on.
Cool.
Can you imagine? It's just like you've got Venom, Carnage, Nipper, Holly.
Never asked you this before, but why do you go by Rowan Redberry? I've never asked that before.
Because Rowans are berries and they are red.
The
And
more
it
you
just
know.
kind of rolls off the tongue.
The more you know,
Like,
folks.
Rowan Redberry. It just rolls off the tongue good.
I never knew that Rowans were berries. I've only just thought that's why Professor Rowan in Pokemon is called Rowan, because all professors are named after like that. Oh my god. Okay.
It took you this long.
Oh, well done.
So, what about you, Dudley? Would you bond with a symbiote?
I think it would be cool.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, think if you had a symbiote, you've got symbiote spider senses. If a vehicle's about to crash into you, your symbiote is going to stop it. It's not going to kill you. So you're better protected against stuff. Something that's going to boost your abilities, like basically you'd never need coffee because the symbiote is just going to do and help you out and stuff like that. Then on the other side, I wouldn't want a symbiote that was going to make me have darker emotions and things like that. So it depends.
Well, like I brought up earlier, the symbiotes oftentimes take up the personality of their hosts. The reason Venom is so psychotic is because he's had numerous psychotic hosts in the past, like Deadpool.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
So, yeah, and don't worry about the fact that Venom eats brains. The only reason that's a thing is because the symbiote craves a certain chemical that's found in the brain. That same chemical can also be found in certain fungus and chocolate. Now, if I had to pick between the three, I'd definitely go with the latter.
Yes. A diet of mushrooms and chocolate. What a life to live.
If you had a symbiote, you could swing around and swim around and all that stuff as well. Like, there's quite a lot of potential.
What would your symbiote be called?
I was entertaining the idea when you two were choosing names then. My first thoughts are for like Kicker or maybe Retzko.
Retzko, of all things.
I think that having a symbiote would bring out my like violent side maybe. So it'd be like Kicker would be like I'm the brains and it's the brawn, you know, like that sort of thing.
I see.
It'll bring out all the repressed rage of working in retail.
Yeah, exactly. Not that I'm saying I'm violent. I mean, like, it would be doing the physical stuff where I'm like... you know what I mean?
Sure, Dudley. Sure.
So, Michael, what about you? Would you ever bond with a symbiote?
I mean, if I ever bond with one, I don't think we ever get along. I don't know. I don't think I mean, obviously, I'm not a guy who will get angry or mad all the time, but I don't, but obviously with college and, with a lot of work, it gets stressful and all that. So, I don't know. I don't know if we get along.
Symbiote isn't necessarily focused on the angry side of you. It just makes your abilities like fivefold or something.
Yeah. I mean, it would be kind of cool if I had like powers from the symbiote, or I won't die from any danger.
Just think, Michael, if you're doing like your ghost hunts and stuff, having extra sensory stuff with the symbiote could help you.
That's true.
It would probably. I think you'd probably call it ecto because
that's actually
ectoplasm.
Yeah, that's actually because if I ever go something and I had a symbiote, then the demons or whatever, they wouldn't be able to get into my body, so I only got a host. So
they possess your symbiote, and then you'd be in trouble.
Not even worse.
Well,
I mean, it's terrible. I'll probably die from that.
Well, until Venom's next proper appearance, well, we'll just leave that up to the imagination, and, well, who knows? I'm still hoping that Spider-Man is brought up in some shape or form in the Venom movie's futures, because maybe someday that'll get me interested in watching them.
Yeah. I haven't seen the Venom films yet, but I'm hoping to see.
Nice.
They're really good. I'm thinking, because of the post-credit scene for No Way Home, the implication is technically we could get an MCU Carnage as well, which would be cool. I will say, in Venom vs. Carnage, its portrayal wasn't the best. It's alright, but, until you see it, I can't say much more.
Okay.
You are listening to the TBI Show!
Well, it's that time again for the month's most ridiculous headlines. Oh, come on. We both know you enjoy it.
How long were you waiting to do that?
It was even funnier from my end that you were cutting out when you were saying that, Daniel, and then I just heard suddenly saying, no!
Is that driver in on this too? I just heard you out there.
I've been having noisy neighbors as well.
Okay, anyway. In this month's news, Cameron Bess, the first furry influencer, is being launched into space.
With, like, a spacesuit on, or...?
Well, basically, the Blue Origin, that's the flight he's on, and it looks like a pretty cool spacesuit. It's not like, Neil Armstrong levels, but still looks cool, looks official.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Of course it's furry.
Well, yeah, I've never seen him in the online space. I just know his name and that he goes by Meeps Kitten on Twitter.
Oh, that's cute.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Dudley?
It's cool that the guy gets to go to space.
Mm.
Then, I was just thinking, let's say he was abducted by aliens. How would he explain everything to them about Earth? That would be rather interesting.
He has to explain everything about the culture of Earth.
Yeah.
Remember, it has to be the culture of the real world Earth, not whatever fantasy worlds you or your friends have come up with. It has to be physical. So let's just hope an alien won't be able to read anyone's mind, because if they did, you'd never be able to explain it.
Yep.
So yeah, Cameron Bess, I'm so jealous.
I mean, would you be scared or, excited if you go to space?
Well, until I go up, who knows? But it'd still be fascinating to go up, see the world from a distance, zero gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Okay, so here's the next headline. A woman sues her mother's doctor for allowing her to be born.
Wow, how... Huh.
Do you not know how pregnancy works?
We must have been having a very bad day for her to justify that. Like, my hair is so messed up. I got fired from my job. A car passed by and splashed a puddle on me. Why was I born?
The fact that you're suing your own mother because you were born, because of your very existence. I mean, why?
Ugh. Some folk.
He must be on something, I don't know.
Look, if your life isn't doing too well, you simply imagine things. Imagine. It's called fantasy fulfillment. Sure, it's not real, but it's a change from the norm.
Yeah.
I mean, you must be on pretty hard times to, like... It's the thing, like... If you're going to have a child, I'm sure it's going to be born into, like, safe environment and, like, you know, that you can look after your child and everything like that, obviously. Like, have a child, you know, when you're in a bad money state or something like that, you know, like, that seems to be the given. But, like...
So, yeah, the idea of it sounds nice, but at this point in my life, I know I'm not ready for the responsibility. But the idea of it still sounds nice, maybe someday, who knows, but anyway. On to the next headline. 3 young brothers let a Black Widow spider bite them, hoping it would turn them into Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
Dear.
I think you might have the wrong spider.
Yeah, I don't think that we even have those spiders in those films here anyway.
Look, I get it. After December, everyone wants to be Spider-Man, but having one of the most deadly spiders in existence bite you is not going to make that happen.
No. It's like non-parkour or something, not get yourself twisted.
When you told that story, I pictured like 3 19-year-old brothers doing it rather than like 6-year-olds or something. Like, I want to know their ages now. I'm curious.
Well,
the kids I understand, but like...
Well, I'm only going by the headlines rules because that's all I've got. And I can just imagine, I assume these 3 are okay now, but I can just imagine, like, if that worked and all of a sudden they just swapped genders and grew red hair and we were like, whoops, wrong hero. We wanted to be Spider-Man, not Black Widow. Black Widow's awesome, but Spider-Man, yeah.
And that actually happened.
Well, I mean, who knows these days? And the last headline that I have is this one. So it's relatively recent, but I still think you'll find it interesting. LAPD officers are being fired for playing Pokemon Go instead of responding to a robbery.
Yes. Well, I saw this twice. I've heard of this one.
So basically, these police officers in LA were so busy playing Pokemon Go that they ignored a robbery happening, and now they're being fired because of it. I mean, I get it. I want a shiny snow run as well, but this is... I'm pretty sure that can wait.
Yeah. You must be really interested.
want me to send you a picture of my shiny snow run so you can show it in the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I caught one, yes, so I don't need to sit in the car waiting by chance to find one.
I can just picture these two in the car. Like, I bet there are some people out there who are like, "Oh, I'm playing Pokemon Go on my break. Something cool turned up. I'm gonna spend 5 minutes trying to catch it." Not when you're like the police and it's like, "Oh, you've been called to a robbery." "Oh, but we're in this raid trying to get like, I don't know, something." It's like, oh my god. I don't misbehave.
I mean, I get it. Pokemon Go is addicting and it goes well with physical exercise, but at the end of the day, you're still police officers. You've still got jobs to do. No matter how boring it may seem, you're still protecting us out there.
I can imagine that being like an animation or something.
Team Rocket and the Rubbers.
Well, they missed their chance to catch them.
Yeah.
So yep, those are the month's headlines.
Interesting bunch.
I'm Randy Newman, and you're listening to TBI. So yep, just before we wrap this podcast up, there were still a few other animated films from 2021 that were brought up. So, I couldn't believe it, but I was surprised to see that Disney was releasing not one, but two animated Disney classics in the same year. The first we've talked about, and that was Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I heard of I've seen the trailers, but I haven't actually seen it yet.
And the second one, which took us all by surprise, was Encanto.
Oh, yeah.
Which I saw just the other day.
Yep. I mean,
I want to see that.
I don't think anyone had even heard of Encanto until, like, late November last year.
Yeah.
It just came out of nowhere. We just got over seeing Raya and the Last Dragon. It was like, oh, okay, another Disney classic. Oh, and it's set in Colombia. This should be interesting.
Yep.
I'm glad that my sister convinced me to watch it because on Disney Plus, because otherwise I might not have checked it out, and it's actually pretty good. Just remember, don't talk about Bruno.
Okay. On that note, I need to bring this up. As much as that song is catchy, Disney, what is with all this anti-Bruno slander? First up, we've got Luca with all this Silencio Bruno talk, and now Encanto is basically giving us a song, basically telling us to unfriend every single Bruno in existence. What is going on? Is there nobody else you can tell off?
The people in the world who are actually called Bruno probably hate this song.
I know.
Just because of this, Bruno is going to become one of those names that nobody's going to call their kid now, just to avoid the bullying.
Honestly, Encanto, I got Rio vibes from it. Like, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I really
Yeah.
It's one of the films that I like films that have a good villain in. I'm not saying I expected Bruno to be the villain or anything. I'm just stating that, like, period. But, like, it's one of them films which, if you haven't seen the Encanto, spoilers, but it's one of them films that doesn't have a villain and yet is entertaining, you know, for me personally.
Yeah.
Like, if it's something like, if it's a film where, like, the threat is like a natural disaster or something, I'm a bit like, I don't know. It's like, it's more interesting to have a force that you stand up against, you know, like a person or a villain or something. This one didn't have that, but it had good humor, it had some funny moments, and we don't talk about Bruno as like a villain song that isn't a villain song. It's quite funny.
I've yet to see the film, but I have heard the song, so...
Yeah, basically, you know, come to think of it, I've brought this up quite a while ago, but remember how I said I was writing my own story.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I'm seeing similarities between that and Encanto. Not going to say which, but let's just say the fact that they actually dive into the tensions between Colombia and outsiders right off the bat, I was like, sheesh, they actually went there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The magic candle scene reminded me of a Tangled when we see the flower at the start with the magic on it.
Yeah.
It was quite simple.
So yeah, basically, what happens when you have a miracle bestowed upon you, you're given your own home to live in, to raise your family, and every one of them receives a special gift / special ability, but one of them doesn't. Well, that's basically the plot of the movie.
Yep.
I heard that somewhere on the internet after Encanto started, someone was making loads of money by like selling people their own magic door.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah, exactly. So it's that sort of like oh, you get pay me this and you get your own bonus or this and you get your own magic door. What will you get? You know, it's like, that's quite clever.
Obviously, mine would be Snow because fresh powder.
I don't know what my powers would be.
Well, I saw one of them was like talking to animals, and I was like, I think that would be something on my list if I was to have.
Yeah.
Maybe mine would talk to spirits. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Like my powers say like more connected to the spirit realm or something.
So yeah, Encanto has a lot of entertaining characters, and let me tell you, the designs are incredible. They're so diverse.
Yeah.
If I had to pick my favorite based on design, I would probably have to go with the one with super sensitive hearing. I thought, wow. Dolores, yeah. I was like, wow, she's pretty.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Yeah.
The little squeaks she does every now and then, like when she hears something.
Yeah, like.
It's also one of the few films I've seen where I think I liked every song. Obviously, the Bruno one's my favourite, but like, it's a bit like, I like all the songs in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I like all the songs. But usually in a Disney film, I like a specific song, and then the others are okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, I thought it was pretty cool. I need to give it a second viewing, to be fair.
I need to have my first viewing.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to spoil it for you, Michael.
It's okay. I'm trying not to listen to my fucking tales.
Jeez, is this why you're not taking part in the conversation?
Well, yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so, you know. I can't say too much on it.
Is it okay if I talk about another movie of 2021 that we should bring up?
Is it Ghostbusters Afterlife?
Oh.
It wasn't, but I did like that film.
Yes, I have seen that.
All right, what is it?
No, it's a film that you might have heard of it. It's a film that Spider-Man: No Way Home has made us forget about completely. It's called The Eternals.
Oh yes. I actually, because Disney Plus has now released it, I managed to see it for myself.
Oh.
So, what are my thoughts? Sorry, I'm diversing from this, Dudley, but...
Okay, I'm interested.
Okay, so, what do I think? Well, most Marvel movies try to be unique. They have unique settings and stories, all based around the characters. Because Thor's all about his ancient supernatural world. Iron Man's all about a man building his own way to the top. So, the Eternals, they do have quite a unique film. And honestly, I don't know what all the fuss was about.
What? Do you mean fuss as in negativity? Or...
Yeah, pretty much. Because I enjoyed it. But like I've said before, I'm easily impressed, so maybe that's not going to affect everyone. But still, I still found it pretty entertaining. The cast is pretty diverse, both in appearance and power. You've got Sprite, who's basically an eternal 12-year-old, and Icarus is pretty amazing because he's practically a Scottish Superman. That's something I never knew I wanted.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say Superman, more like Omni-Man.
Oh.
I won't say why, but I'll let you watch it for yourself, and you'll know why I draw that comparison.
Well, now I'm gonna try and watch it now.
You know that actor, the guy who has the power to mind control people?
Yeah.
Like he could just make them. Yeah. I don't know why, but when I saw him, he reminded me of Michael.
Wait, really?
Like an older version of Michael?
Yeah, like if you had superpowers and the way the guy looked, he kind of reminded me of you. Like, and I thought, yeah, a little bit. Like, look, I don't know if you'll be offended by that or if.
I don't know. Well, I'm gonna see to find out if I will be offended by that comment.
I thought Eternals was good. Like, I really liked. I mean, I quite enjoyed it when I went to see it. The one thing I'd say about it is it's very slow paced. Like it feels like there's more talking scenes when there are action scenes, where which usually is quite balanced out in a Marvel film. But then No Way Home came along and it was like felt like it was 10 times better. And I was I was giving praise to Eternals, and I was like, yeah, it's good. And I heard people talking about it, saying they didn't like the effects and things, and I was like, I thought it was pretty good. And then No Way Home came along, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is amazing.
I'm gonna watch Eternals too.
So yeah, Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Eternals, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna have to see it. But
same as me.
But other movies, I watched Encanto, really enjoyed it. Was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, but hey, was good.
Yeah.
I will say one thing that will make you want to check out Eternals is Thanos' brother.
Pardon?
Post credits.
Oh, you've said too much. We said too much. We need to bring this to a close.
Shut
it down!
Okay. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next month. Hopefully we've not angered any of you with that reveal. So, time to say goodbye, guys. Hope you have...
Okay, bye.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.
All right, see ya. Bye.